So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast here with Jonathan Francis. We're going to ask him some questions today. I'm going to start. So what inspired you to start making music?
What inspired me to start making music?
Yeah.
I guess it was probably just listening to like old rock and roll records that I found around the house to start with, and then I think it was probably when I went to like my first like local like little punk show that I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to hang out with my friends and make noise like that. So, I mean, I guess that's where it all started,
Okay.
All right.
20 years ago.
Okay.
Solid.
And
Still going strong.
Listen, just full transparency. I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm a massive Korn fan. I'm trying my best not to call you Jonathan Davis.
Yo, I get down with I used to get down with some Korn, let's say. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. All right.
Maybe 20 years or so.
Yeah,
Oh my
when
God,
I dropped
just
their
a little
debut
bit.
like 20 years ago.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
You're like, I should be in a band like Korn and down to my bass like 5 steps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? So congrats on your newest release, Tear Down the Fascists, or Tear the Fascists Down. How do you feel the response to it so far?
It's been great, yeah. I've been really happy with how people have received it. I've gotten a lot of really kind words from folks on it, but also people being like stoked about the the message behind the track, which isn't originally my message. It's my adapted 2020 like Woody Guthrie version of it, but the idea like holds true, today.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for this single?
So I was listening to the tune one day and was like, I should learn this. Started messing around with it and kind of like, just modernizing the lyrics. Just like, sitting in the middle of lockdown, like watching the news a lot and not watching the news, I shouldn't say, but like, reading stuff online about all the crazy stuff in the news. And, just like looking for some sort of outlet during that time. Just like learning like old songs that had to do with the same like modern context. And that's what I found in this Woody Guthrie song. And the lyrics like very easily like flipped to, or, I could turn them into like 2020 context pretty easily. I mean, like that first like afternoon I was working on it, I was like, all right, I should record this. This is cool. And I hit up Pete and that was it. I put it together with some other songs that are going to be out. Another one like next month, and the whole EP will be out in January.
Okay.
Solid. So you kind of already touched on it a little bit, but can you tell me where your headspace was while creating this single?
Yeah, exactly. Like it was in the midst of the COVID lockdown, and also during like the height of the protests against police brutality. So during that time, like I said, I was, kind of visiting like some older tunes, looking for like, I don't know, like just some enlightenment in such like a dark time. And yeah, I was listening to this Woody track, Tear the Fascists Down, and I was like, wow, this is like so relevant to right now. So started like tweaking the lyrics around. I used like some original verses and then some modernized verses, so you'll hear like the original lyrics to a degree, and then you'll hear a refrain with the 2020 context. But yeah, I just the parallel was like so like glaring. I was like, wow, I gotta revamp this, because this was written in 1944, but it's like sounds like it was written this morning.
Yeah.
So is that what you did for the whole EP, or does the EP have some original stuff on it as well?
Yeah, it's both. There's an original track on it, and then there's actually another cover song on it as well.
Okay. And did you do like did you do like that reimagining thing on that too, where you like added some of your own to it, or is that just like a straight cover?
More of a straight cover, like different approach stylistically, but lyrically is the same. Did not tweak those lyrics. However, I did choose the song for the same reason that like the original lyrics hold kind of hold new meaning, but the same meaning in 2020 as they did when they were written.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I respect that you're not just doing like the standard lockdown thing where you're just like, I'm gonna record a bunch of covers, you know, and you're like putting your own twist on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to like make them more in the they're covers I chose in the context of like world affairs, if you will, you know, or like what was happening in this country, and not just in this country but all over. So it was like, and the original I also chose like ties into that too, and just that like the message, which you know we can get into later, for that song is like ties into the lyrical context of these other two tracks, which weren't even written by me or in 2020 or recently at all, but were written like 50 years ago and 76 years ago. So I chose them to like show like this almost time frame of how people can have had these feelings for like a long time, or like dealing with the same thing over and over again as like history repeats itself in some like terrible ways, you know?
Yeah. That's really cool. I like that you were able to reimagine and put your own twist on it, like modernize it, as you said. Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you.
So this question should be like super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe the single in 3 words.
Hell fucking yeah. I got through it. I wasn't sure how long I had on the clock there, but rockin' anti-fascist rock and roll. But there's like
we're putting hyphens in there.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's technically 3
okay.
words. It's like 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
People do that a lot though. They're like hyphen like the sentence here.
Exactly. Paragraph here. So it's easy, it's fine.
I guess I could have fielded that one a little bit better, but
it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. You already said that this was a modern twist on a cover, but on your part, what band or artist influence do you think you could take some from, or you could pick out, I guess?
For my like twist, you're saying?
Yeah.
I think that I approach the song in a very like, I feel like I just kind of rip off Laura Jane Grace a lot and just like want to emulate that sort of like presence on a microphone, especially like someone like by themselves with just a guitar and a microphone. So I feel like that straightforward approach that we took on this record, like where it's just like me and my 335 plugged in and just like a little bit of extra energy. Like it's not an acoustic EP, like we wanted to like crank it up a little bit. Kind of reminds me of and I know it's totally me trying to like be that cool, but it's like definitely like how Laura Jane Grace approaches like solo work and can just goes for it. Like you're just standing there up by yourself, but it's a very vulnerable state to like really like bring it like without a band behind you. It's easy to bring it with like a bunch of, you know, with a drummer and a bass player and like other people like helping you like be loud and present, but it's a different thing to like bring that intensity and presence when you're by yourself. So definitely like wanted to attack it with that same aggression and integrity that she does.
So is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while going through this track?
Tear the Fascists Down specifically, I want people to feel like hopeful that you know, if we band together, like we can basically make it through whatever opposition like comes our way, even if it is crazy fascist government regimes or who knows what the fuck is up, you know, up the road. Which is the message, you know, in the original track is like, yo, like whatever it takes, like we're just like we'll find a way through this or whatever. Much different because it's like talking about international affairs and like, you know, banding together as a country, whereas like it's a little bit more centralized to the United States, but it's also not. Just as far as like the topic Ahmad is referring to, which is like the police issue in this country. Yeah, I think that it, you know, there's that difference, but as far as the message goes, like that's what I wanted to also like draw that parallel that it's like international or national, like here, or like abroad, like whatever you want to call it, like people that will stand up for other people exist like all over, especially throughout this country, and definitely all over the world, you know. So it's like we got this. Like, don't like, yeah, it's fucking scary out there, but like it's gonna be okay as long as we stick together, you know.
Yeah, I like that. It's very wholesome. All right.
Yeah.
So
it's when he got through his message, really. I just kind of co-opted it, but yeah.
Definitely. All right. Where do you see the project in the next 5 years?
Hopefully I'll just be like living in a sweet vintage motorhome full time and just like hanging out with my dog and playing. No, I'm kidding, honestly, but that'd be cool, right? No, I'm gonna just hopefully be still cranking, putting out some records. We put out a full length record next year, and then planning another one for the year after that as well. So I don't really plan on slowing down past that. So hopefully just doing more and more releases really is where I see it, you know, doing multiple releases a year, or at least like dropping new tracks every month is kind of the groove I'm stepping into now. I have this EP coming out in January, and then the full length next year. Both of which are finished and like ready to
Oh, wow.
go. Yeah.
They're done.
So, yeah. We're just tweaking them, like, but yeah, we recorded them before the LP was recorded before COVID, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, we've just been kind of like polishing it up while we've been in lockdown. But yeah, it was all tracked actually during 2019. And with the way everything is right now, I just decided to put out next year instead of this year. And that's why I've got these I've borrowed songs volume 1, which that's what Tear the Fascists Down is off of, and the follow-up EP coming out as well next year. So before I do the full band LP, I'm going to do some solo stuff because we can't really do full band stuff yet, you know, with everything all messed up, and it's gonna be hard to do shows, full band shows, for really we don't know how long, an indefinite amount of time. So I decided to kind of showcase some of my solo stuff in the meantime, as that's kind of like what I'm going to be focusing on more right now. And then eventually want to get back to the full band stuff. The LP is full band.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
Looking forward to that.
Thanks, yeah.
So for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh, man. Death row. Last meal. And what beverage?
Yep.
All right.
That's where we get you.
Ooh, yeah, I know.
The questions get harder.
They do. All right. I feel like, all right, beverage. I like quit drinking recently. I just kind of like slowly stopped over the last few months. But I feel like if I was going to have one last drink, I'd probably have an alcoholic beverage. I think I'd get the biggest PBR that they'd give me. Just like go, like throw it all the way back to the olden days. A giant PBR. And I think that I probably just want a really, really serious, like, what's the best way to call it? I think I'd want a seitan cheesesteak with the works and a giant 32-ounce PBR. I think that's how I'd go out.
Okay, solid.
Yeah, or whatever they'd allot me on death row, I guess.
Yeah.
Ounces of PBR, but yeah, that'd be it.
Okay, solid. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
In a fictional world.
Yep, fictional world.
The United States of America, where everyone actually gets along.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. That's a good one.
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to have said it's the most important question. What is your favorite color?
They say that black doesn't count, but green then, if that's the case.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific
black.
shade of green?
Definitely darker forest, like sun-baked old Subaru green. That's my favorite green.
Okay.
Solid.
It's very specific. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
I'm gonna have a new track dropping next month called Borrowed Song. It'll be off of the Borrowed Songs EP, which Tear the Fascists Down is off of right now. And keep a lookout for that in December, and the rest of the tracks in January.
Mhm.
Also, now just everyone try to, stay positive out there and keep doing work within your communities locally to make a difference. Don't worry about so much the internet, Twitter hype world of nonsense that we can't control. Show up and vote, but worry about your communities.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you for sitting out with us. This has been Jonathan
Yeah.
Francis.
Thank you all for having me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we're the Good Noise Podcast.